Hello. Took me a few minutes to get on here, but I'm here and welcome. Whew, as we are in this eclipse energy and stuff. Um, blessings. I just posted everybody's sun horoscope for the week. So you can take a look at that on my Facebook page. And I also was talking a little bit about Mars. Mars is retrograde. Whoo! That's a big one. Um, as I wrote, as someone once said that everything that I learned in kindergarten. Isn't that the truth, right? Um, how to share, how to play, how to put things back where you found them, and how to lose. These are important life lessons, and how we utilize those life lessons each and every day is so important. And with Mars retrograding, it is really going to teach us how to enter into this energy. And it is connected with Gemini. Gemini is about education. And, it is ruled by um, Mercury. And Mercury right now is coming into Scorpio and he's going to oppose Uranus. And Uranus is the higher mind. It is a higher mind, right? And Mercury is our, the lower mind, the everyday, how we learn, how we work with things. And in many ways, with the Gemini zodiac sign of socialization, it is where we are going to be learning that and how we are going to be focusing how we come together, how we communicate with one another. It's so, so important. And it's also where we learn that we have talents and aspirations. And this is a time that it won't necessarily be recognized and supported at home. Mars is in retrograde in Gemini, can symbolize a regression. And we certainly have seen a lot of adults behaving like children lately. But however, Mars retrograde in Gemini can also signal a time to revisit those lessons of childhood. Lessons like don't hit, don't take things that don't belong to you. Be kind to one another. Put things back where they belong. Mars will be in retrograde in Gemini from today till January 12th. I think, yeah, January 12th. So this is going to throw for many of my Geminis, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, or Gemini Rising, you're going to really feel the energies of this Mars retrograde and how it's going to affect you in your connections, in how you are relating to people, etc. The other thing is like to look at your chart where Mars is. Mars is in my 12th house. So this is where I look into, well, what does that mean? Mars 12th house Gemini is about relating truth, coming to truth, and sticking and standing up for what your truth and your karma and living through your karma. And the 12th house also has to do with secrets. So looking at, and speaking out secrets and telling secrets, which I seem to do quite a bit, is telling secrets of what's going on through the planets. That's how I look at it. Anyways, so there is a lot of energy with that coming in. Now we also have the lunar eclipse in Taurus that is going to be coming on November 8th. Now this is going to be this is crazy, and this is on world points. And it's also coming on the day of the election in the United States. It's also with their Pluto return hitting them. This eclipse is also hitting Biden's MC, which has to do with his career, and how his career is. And so this lunar eclipse is going to be hitting that. It's hitting the EU chart. It's hitting NATO's chart. So there's a lot of major players that this chart is activating and really um unfolding. So there's a lot of energy. It may not unfold on that day, but you're going to see over the course of the next 6 months how things are going to be unfolding, not only in Biden's chart, the United States, NATO, EU, and even watching how different I got crumbling of economies and government structures starting to fall. We're seeing it in the UK right now with the new PM that just was appointed. He wasn't elected, he was appointed. And how restrictions and laws are coming out where you're not allowed to speak about his family life, his money, and other parts of who he is. He does not have political experience at all either. Like he's only been in sort of like pushed into the ring 5 years ago to my knowledge. So it's going to be interesting. He is definitely a puppet. He is definitely sits on the board of the WEF. Um so it's going to be an interesting thing, and a lot of laws and stuff that he implemented as a chancellor. um he's he's going to be pushing forward with them. So there's going to be we're going to be seeing unfolding of the discrepancies. We're going to be seeing, right now in Canada, we are going through uh, about the truckers, and the information all coming out about the truckers this week is going to be crazy. Uh, with with more information that's going to be coming out in the truckers' favor of them not being violent, and the things that they actually did to improve Ottawa and the streets of Ottawa and the homelessness and many other things are going to be coming out during this week. So this for the trial. With the truckers and the government, and especially with our PM, it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to be played out this week, and also as we move towards, this lunar eclipse. So there's so much that is going to be unfolding, and we're going to be witnessing a lot of the unfoldment of this all. And as we do this, what the beautiful part about this is also giving us the opportunity to create a community, to create our structure, our light on how we are building our world around us, and how we are connecting not only digitally but even personally. One-on-one meetings and etc. is an important piece as well with this energy coming forward. Now, being in Scorpio and being in Taurus, it has to do with financial structures too. So we're going to see a lot to do with the financial structures, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of the dollar dropping with this. And because it's hitting, it's forming this massive T square in the sky. So something's got to break, something's got to let go. So we're going to be seeing things to do with the economy. We're going to be seeing a lot more with money. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is where you start looking at gold, silver, and rare, like things like lithium and rare minerals. This is where you start doing your own investigation and even start buying gold and silver where you can. I know silver is getting harder to find unless you go to the post office, unless you know a really good coin dealer that you can trust, definitely, or someone online who's a reputable coin dealer. Then, do your due diligence, okay? um Time has shown that gold and silver always hold their value, you know, and silver is going to be a really big one that I feel is going to be one that you really have to look into it. And that's, having that um, tangible piece on hand. And if you can't afford things right now, I would say, I mean, the Canadian Post Office has mint gold, silver coins. You can start there. You can start going and looking on eBay and things like that. For $33, you could find some really nice gold coins. right? And so you don't have to spend a lot of money to get into this. And I know for my husband and I, that's what we are going to be starting to do. And even looking into different mining options. And some of these ones are going for like 91 cents Canadian. And some of these mining companies that I've been looking at are from Canada and some of the top mining companies in Canada. And they already have drawn attention to some of the big people like Elon Musk, like Warren Buffett are starting to buy into these guys. So this is what you start doing. You start looking at, okay, what are the billionaires doing? Because they're the guys who've made the money over the past 3 years, doubled their money. And what do they start investing in? And some of this stuff is not it's cheap. Like they're starting off at, okay, this is a company that's starting off. Lithium is something that is going to be needing. We are going towards lithium batteries, whether you like it or you don't. If you're going and looking into backup generators or anything like that, don't look into a gas backup generator. Look into either a lithium one, and then there are also solar powered lithium battery generators that are coming out. These are something that I think people need to be looking at if you own your own place. I rent. It's very hard for me to put a generator on my electrical box because I don't have permission to do that, for one, because it's not mine, right? But you can have different smaller outlets like an eco line generator that you could plug things in, and that will last 24 to 72 hours if the power grid or something goes out, and that can actually even power your internet service as well. So you can look at many different things for your own self, and this is what it's all about. It's all about getting out and looking at, how can I create a power grid for myself, and financials. The food part, I've talked to you until I'm blue in the face, because I mean, diesel right now in the United States, and that as soon as that came out, Jupiter went into Pisces. As soon as that information, and I was looking, I went, oh my God, Jupiter just went into Pisces. Neptune rules water, gas, oil, etc. And Jupiter comes in and it expands anything that's going on there. So whether it's price hikes, whether it's things that are lacking, so it's going to expand the lack of what's there, right? So this is what's happening. So now you're seeing in the States, what they're talking about is that there's less than a 30-day supply of diesel. What does diesel supply? Your trucks, your boats, your trains. So if you're starting to look at things like that, this is where you're going to be seeing price hikes, because it's going to cost more money to get those goods to you. So right now, things like rice and beans and basic goods like even flour and sugar and stuff are cheap. Go to the Canadian Superstore. That's I'm from Canada, so go to the Canadian Superstore and start stocking up on that, and Milo bags and oxygenated tabs that you could put in them. Go to a restaurant supplier, and that's Canadian Superstore. Costco's going to may have some, but they're going to charge you a lot more than what Canadian Superstore is going to buy you. And you can actually buy smaller quantities. You don't have to buy huge amounts, right? So if you are wanting to have extra rice, say you buy a big bag of rice at 10 kg or more of rice, you could take half of that and put it into the Milo bags. Same with beans. So anything like kidney beans, lentils, all of that you can put into Milo bags, and you have it just right on the date of it and everything else. There's a lot of YouTube videos and stuff you can go and look at so you can get more information. If you want to dehydrate things, like dehydrate any right now, if you can get apples, you can get pears. There's different fruits, hard fruits that are coming out. These are great for drying, and then you can store them as well, and you can have them. So this is a really important time as we're coming into winter and things are going to start getting colder, that we really have to, and the energies of the sky, and even what I have been shown through my channeling and stuff, it's really important for us to really get our boots on the ground and begin to do these types of things that are going to support us over the winter, because it's going to be a long, long winter. And even though you might live in Canada or the United States and you're like, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me. We will never have rollouts. We will never have blah, blah, blah. Well, it doesn't have to be something that is, done by the government or some other force, but it could be coming that, okay, you a really bad winter and something happens that, with the cold, so you might get shut in for 2 to 3 days or even a week and you can't get out. All right, you live in Canada, you got to think of these things, and a lot of times people don't. So this is where you need to look at, okay, what can I have as resources that is going to help me? And the other thing, it's not going to hurt you to have something that's going to last for 10 years that you have done yourself and you know what the hell's in it. So that's very, very important as well. So this is, also, part of prep time. This is a part of really looking into the future, looking at the things that I need to have that are going to be important. And this lunar eclipse in Taurus, that has to do with your own finances, your own self, your stuff, what you like, what you don't like. Taurus is a sign, it's a bull. So if you think about it, you're not going to move a bull anywhere else. And they also call it a bull market, bullion, money. So you're going to find that there's going to be a lot of things to do with that. And bulls are very difficult to move. You're not going to move a bull if it don't want to move. If a bull wants to move and it wants to get into the other pasture, I've seen big ass bulls jump fences, even though they've been locked up, everything else, they can't get out of it. But if they want to get out there and they know that there's some cute looking cows over there, they're damn well going to get there. So that's the other thing, is that with this bull energy, it's like if you really want to get something, you're going to get it. You are going to put that energy, even though Mars feels like it's restricting you. Even though that might feel like there's restrictions upon you, it is going to put you forward. Okay. So this is important for us all. This is important for us to really look at. And, oh, thank you, without the panic. Because there are great opportunities for us at this time to do the things that we need to do. And, for many who do have heavy investments in the market, look at what are your investments. If you're in the States, I sure in the hell wouldn't have a fucking 401k, or in Canada, I wouldn't have an RRSP. I really wouldn't. I would start looking at other options and putting my money, because a lot of those retirement funds that they have that are sponsored by the government aren't going to be there. Have you seen what's happened in the UK right now? Huge panic. So this is important to really take that responsibility, as you were taught in kindergarten. Take responsibility for your stuff. Take care of your stuff. And sometimes it is as simple as just doing one little step at a time and not overwhelming yourself. So if you want to start, again, we can start, go get rice. Big bag of rice can cost you anywhere, depending where you buy it, from $10 to $30, depending on the rice, depending where you buy it. And you can divvy it out. You could go buy a little pack of beans, right? And do that. My husband loves to cook rice and beans, so it's a common staple in our house anyways. It's not only to have the canned goods, but also to have the dry goods as well. It's important. So there's many, lentils and you can make, if you can't get hamburger, okay, I know, here it is. If you can, there is beautiful recipes that you can make lentil burgers with, and they're really, really good. So you can look into a lot of different, even East Indian recipes, have beautiful vegetarian recipes that are out there. Have a list, try them out now. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't. Maybe you like this curry, maybe you don't like curry. There's many different recipes, and this is a time to explore them. This is a time to have experiments so that you know that you have them. case shit hits the fan, the shizzy hits the fan, you have that. See, the astrology helps to prepare us, helps to let us see this is the energy that we are going into for the next 6 months. It is going to be where, this eclipse is hitting parts of Russia and the Ukraine and part of Africa. Pluto's shadow is coming over parts of South America and central United States and Canada. So that means there's going to be a lot of changes made in those areas. And it's funny because bloody Kansas is right in the area where the Pluto won. And if you can look up what bloody Kansas was all about in American history and how that triggered the American Revolution. So this is where the energy is. It's triggering a lot of saying, you know what? We're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to stand up for this anymore. We want to take those changes. We want to make a difference in our own world. We want to have our car. We want to own our clothes. I like clothes. I always liked clothes. This is what's important. So as this energy is unfolding, it's getting you to move in a direction that is going to get you to take charge. Now, also, this is triggering Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus. And remember, I said Taurus is the bull, but Taurus is also Earth. So if we think of this electrical energy, which is Uranus, he's electrical, he's unexpected. We never know his orbit. And the reason why we say he's unexpected is that he could be going in a certain direction around the sun, and he will change his orbit in a different way to go around the sun. So he's unexpected, and there's no way of, they think that they have it mapped and he changes it. That's what Uranus does. All right. Because he's on the other side of the God, we call it the God realm. So we have Saturn, and then we have our asteroids and meteorites and stuff like that. And then on the other side is it's Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So we can't really see them with the naked eye, or we can't see them with the naked eye. So he's in that, what we call the God realm. And he is the ruler of the sky. That's what Uranus is. His wife is Gaia. She didn't like him too much. She asked one of her sons to cut his balls off, and he did. And he threw them in the sea, and that's where Venus was born. Whole other mythology there. Some of these gods and stuff, when you start looking at them, are real assholes and dicks when you start looking at them. But anyways, so Uranus comes in. He's unexpected. He's with the Earth. There's going to be a lot of seismic energy that's going to come in along with this over the next several months as well. So we have all of this unexpected energy that's going to come in. We also, the last time when Jupiter went into Pisces in April of this year, lots of flooding, lots of things that started to happen. This time it's at the other end of the of Pisces in around 28, 29 degrees. So we know that there's going to be a lot of a lot of flooding, or a lot of energy that has to do with things to do with water and water hikes with, when it comes to oil and gas, and even probably water prices. That's the other thing. So if you buy a lot of bottled water filtration systems and stuff, you might start seeing them creep up in price, which are something that you should have on hand anyways, is some kind of water filtration system anyways. And a supply of your bottled water and things like that should be on hand as well. So you're going to see those things creeping up in price. My advice, don't buy anything Nestle. That's one company I avoid. It breaks my heart because I know Nestle has some really good Halloween candy, but I just can't give them my money. Even though they make Smarties and stuff like that. They're probably silent partners with other companies as well, which really breaks my heart. But anyways, if I see the name Nestle written on something, I kind of stay clear of it. as much as possible because they are such a corrupt, underhanded company that does a lot of despicable things in the third world so anyways, go on a tangent on that. So we are in an energy of progression. We are in an energy of huge transformation and change. It is where we are wanting to dismantle everything. It's like going in and taking a sledgehammer to your kitchen and taking everything out, right? And it's crazy and it's disruptive, and you might have leaks and you might have, things, go wrong. But the outcome is going to be something grand and beautiful, something that's more functional for you. And the past few years, this is all what we're going through. We're going through these transformations. We're going through huge dismantlement, but it has to happen. I mean, it's when you step back and you take a look at what's happening in the world, it's showing you that we can't function. We can't function with stupid dickheads as prime ministers and presidents and etc. Oh, really? So this is where people are starting to really, things are going to start going crazy. I cannot see the election going smoothly on the 8th, not with all of this energy coming in. There's going to be something crazy that's going to happen with that all as it unfolds, and it's hitting Biden's mid heaven chart. So who knows? Something could happen there as well with him. So we don't want ill will caused on anybody. We send them love. We try to anyways. So so the other thing is tomorrow is the witches new year. So Halloween, All Hallows Eve, or Sohin, is to me, a very beautiful holiday. It's a holiday of reflection. It is a time of looking at what has gone on, because I mean, most of 2022 has come. We've gone through 10 months, and then also taking a step back, what has happened and transpired in the last year, from October of last year to October of this year for you. So it is a great time to bring out your cards. Bring out, for me, it's bringing out the tarot cards and doing a little 12 months reading for yourself. Now you can book an appointment with me and we can do it. And have a one-on-one session of just pulling out each month. And what you do is you start with October. So October would be your first month that you're going to start. No, we're going to start with November because it's October 31st. So November is your first month that you start with. And what you do is that you shuffle your cards however you want to shuffle until you're ready. You can spread them out, choose how you want to do it. So we shuffle our cards and we pull out a card. So we pull out a card. So November. So I pulled out a card for November. November is the Seven of Swords. So what is the Seven of Swords? The Seven of Swords is always about deceitfulness. So now we're looking into November. So November, there's going to be a lot of deceit that is going to be seen, that we're going to be seeing around us. And that we have to really look at. This guy is running away with everything. He's looking over his shoulder. Am I able to get away with things? Or, there's two swords that are down. So something is done there. Like, he's finished. He's not going back to that encampment, that village that's there. And he's looks like he's getting away with all the goods. So there's something to do with that. We're going to see that it's going to look like something is done and somebody's getting away with all the goods. And so November, we got to really look at and trusting our own selves, trusting our own intuition. Is this the right pathway for me? Do I feel right in doing this? Do I trust this person or don't trust this person? This is going to be very important for us to be having that discernment through the month of November. Now, as we go into December, wow, we get the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups is one of the most beautiful in the tarot card to get in the tarot. So here comes December. So we've gone through the deceit. Now it's coming in. What are your wishes? What do you wish for? What do you want to come true? This is an opportunity to bring in what you are wanting. All your cups are all lined up, they're all full. There you are, you're sitting in front of them. What do you wish for? What is that you want something to come forward for you in the month of December? So when you're doing this, and this reading is generally for the collective. That's what I'm just pulling out some cards for right now. You take it, you write it down, get a book. You can take a picture of this, and you can photocopy it or whatever, and write out what the meaning is and how you feel about this card. So then as the month goes in and something happens, you can go back and you can relate to it. So it's really nice to have a nice little journal to go along with this. And as we go into the new year, the 10 of Pentacles, but it's reversed. I'll turn it up this way. So the 10 of Pentacles is about hard work. What is the hard work that you've done so far? And it is about enjoying the labors of your work, but yet it's reversed. So it's telling me that there's still work to be done. Not everything is done. You still have some stuff to be done. And that's telling the collective. It's not saying that, okay, we're done, we're finished, we've done everything we can do. And it's Pentacles. So that has to do with earth. That has to do with money. It has to do with relationships. It has to do with health. So everything to do with the mundane world. And as we come into this in January, it's telling us we still have work to do. There's work ahead, and we think that we're completed. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we just don't want to do it anymore. But it's letting us know that we have to continue on the work. And as we do that, we enter into February, which is a new journey. So from November all the way up to February, we are going through transitions and changes in our life that are bringing us great opportunity that is going to be work. There's going to be work ahead of us, but it's going to lead us to a new journey. Where that journey is, we're not sure, but we do have the experience because it's not the first time we're going out on a journey. So February is going to bring us some sort of journey. And it's going to be where, make sure that you have everything that you need. The sun is shining. There he is. He's stepping out. He's got his little puppy, all happy. And off we go with the mountains in behind. So there is a transition and change that is coming. And looking up, he's looking up. He's not looking forward. He's looking up. He's like, here I am. I'm going in with the guidance. I am trusting this new energy that's coming in where I'm going to go. Now, as you're going on this journey, you're coming into March. And what is March? March is going to be a huge transitional change because we have Pluto going into Aquarius. We have Saturn going into Aquarius. We have Mars leaving Gemini and going into Cancer. It's not happy in Cancer, just saying, because it's water and it's like, blah, that means I got to go with the water. I got to feel my emotions. So as we enter into that month, we know that, we got the 7 of Pentacles. So we got the 7 of Pentacles. That means that there's going to be opportunities there for us. What kind of opportunities can come up? It's like there's going to be something new because there's something new that's down here. And then we have all the work that you've done. Now you could go, this is where, when you're going on a fool's journey, you could go the path that you've always gone, that is tried and true. This is what I've done. Or there's something new that's coming in. There's something new that's coming in. What is that new path? What is that new opportunity that could be coming in? It could be a new job. It could be a promotion. It could be something, a new relationship for you. New forms of making money, right? A new health opportunity, something to help you with your health. So there's opportunities that are coming in that are leading you. So it's trusting in this new opportunity that is coming in for you. And as we go through March and we're seeing all these opportunities that are coming in, we go into April and we have the Ace of Cups. Now, the Ace of Cups is emotion. It's April. So we know that there's some new emotion, new insight, intuition that we'll have with everything. So April, so this is looking very beautiful. Yeah, we might be starting with November. We're uncovering what no longer works for us. Things that are not in alignment for us, that are bringing us the opportunity to create something new. There's going to be hard work for us during 2023, but it's going to lead us to something new, some new opportunities, and there is going to be some emotion because it's the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is emotional. What are those emotions that are coming in? What are our sensitivities? What is it that we're being more aware of? So we have an awareness that's coming in, and we have spirit. So we're being guided with spirit. We're being guided by the divine and allowing ourselves to be guided by divine. I mean, that's what the fool's doing. He's looking up. He's not looking down. He's not looking forward. The fool is looking up, and that is us. We are the fool. We are the one who's going on this journey of discovery, of finding out. And yes, the emotion can come in. And with that emotion, what ends up happening is that whatever we created, we're moving on. We're moving on. So May brings in where we are moving forward onto something new. And as this is coming in, this is coming towards, as we see the sun and the moon that is coming in. So there's something to do with a waning moon. So something to do in and around the new moon. I'm going to say, that's April. This is May. In May is going to transpire. And we're going to move ahead on something. We're not looking back. Everything has been organized. We're done. We're done with whatever it is. And we're moving on to a new road. We're moving forward onto something. We're not, this is where this fool, things are unfolding. We're going through a lot of emotion and transformation. There's more emotion, but we're done. So we're putting things together. We've done our work. We're heading on a new journey, and that's in May. So as June comes in, we're heading in. Don't make this shit up. We're heading onto a new land. We're heading somewhere else in June. So June is taking us to somewhere new. We're moving away from any hardship. We're moving away from what no longer aligns for us. It's the Six of Swords. We're done. So we got double done. Okay? So we are done. From May to June, we're done. So whatever it is that we have been working on, what we are creating with the opportunities, we're done. We're ready to move on. We're ready. We're going on. We're moving away from rough seas to smooth seas. Okay? From roughness to smoothness. That's where we're moving. Okay? So it's positive. There is a movement. We're being guided to move to somewhere new. We may not like it, right? So because it's uncomfortable. We're going into some uncomfortable changes, uncomfortable ways of looking at things in the world. So we're moving into this direction of something that is new with new opportunities. There is smooth roads there, but even though it looks or it feels like there's smoothness, I feel like there's still somewhat of an uncomfortableness. And as we go into July, we get all tied up because we just don't want to do it. July comes in, and July, we're in a lot of retrograde energy again. And this is where I don't really want to look at the truth of things. I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, but I can move. There is the rivers that are there, they're emotional, right? I could take those bandages, those bondage is not heavy. I can take them off at any time. The swords are down. That means whatever I'm worried about is done. Why am I overthinking things? So July comes in where it's going to take some time for us to sit down and moodle and really look deeply into the directions that we want to go forth and allow ourselves to untie those bandages that are keeping us bound to things that are no longer in alignment for us. And as we do this, August comes around and it brings us some beauty. Beauty in our life. She's in beautiful robes. She has her falcon there. There's grapes that are there. They're not exactly ready to harvest yet, but there is this opportunity that's coming in, right? It's the 9. We're coming forth. I mean, we started off with the 10 reversed. This is a 9. This is saying, okay, look at everything that we have. Look at all that has transpired for us. So August is really getting us to see, okay, what are the fruits of our labor? And, and it's time, she has her hand on one of the piles, which is pretty high, and saying, okay, here we have stuff that is transpiring. This is what is coming towards us. And there are still more to come, but I'm going to enjoy. This is time. So August, there's some enjoyment that's coming in. And so we're going to embrace that enjoyment as it unfolds. Okay. So now with August, we come into September. September, wisdom. Here comes the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is information that's coming in the direction I want to take into. It is the mind. All right. So it's the intellect. It is the wisdom that is coming forth. We are trusting in the mind. We are trusting in this direction. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is bringing in some new wisdom, some new information. And it's trusting in that new information. It's upright. Okay, it's a sword. Here I am. There's laurels. There's rewards that are going to be coming in with this. All right. So there's a movement, but it's a mental thing. All right. It's not a physical in our body where we're with the intuition. We'll have the intuition backing us, but it's mainly, this is, it's that first thought, that first piece of wisdom. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going forth into it. And as we go forth from September to October to the final card, October of next year brings us radical change. Whatever was up is down. Whatever is down is up. The Wheel of Fortune comes in and it's saying we are in change. So where you are now is not going to be where you will be next year. Whether it's your job, whether it's your home, or whether it's relationships or anything like that, things are radically going to change over this next year. It's going to bring you in some great opportunities that are going to come forward. Lots of transitioning and movement that's going to come in. Some of it is going to be feeling frustrated and overwhelming for you. And that's with all of us. We're all going to be going through this as a collective, but it's going to get us to a place and a great opportunity that's going to lead us where we're going to have to understand what we keep and what we let go of. 4 of Pentacles, the overall energy. So the 4 of Pentacles is not a fun card. That means that there's going to be restrictions put on us. Restrictions put on the collective. But even though those restrictions are put on us, there is opportunity of movement and going forward in some way. Sometimes we are going to have to trust our intuition on it. And near the end, we're going to have to trust in the communications that we have with one another and listening to that communication and how it makes sense to us. Because the restrictions are there. 4 of Pentacles is restriction. Yes, money's coming in. Yes, things are coming in, but something is holding on to that. Someone is holding on to them too tight and not releasing and allowing things to move as freely as we would like things to move. And that will have to do with money. That's going to have to do with, I'm going to say any kind of movement. It could be with cars, buses, planes, things that have movement or in along that line. And especially with Neptune still being in Pisces and Saturn being in Pisces. That means Saturn wants to have foundation in a land that is ether. He wants, so something wants to come in and restrict us from our expansions of what we want to do, but we are going to push through it. It's going to be a year of pushing through and overcoming a lot of trials and tribulations throughout the year but it is a positive year, but it's not going to be an easy year. There you go. So between October of this year to October of next year, we are heading into greater and more diverse transitions that we have never been through before, but it's going to be an adventure, and we're all going into it together with love, with truth, and laughter. Bring in that laughter because we got to bring it forth. So there you go. If you are wanting a personal one, get a hold of me and we will book you in for a personal one-on-one 12-month card reading so we can go through each of the months for you. Blessed be everybody, and onwards and upwards. Have a great Sunday and a fabulous Halloween, and blessings to you all.